Bonjour, comment allez-vous? So don't be scared by my sexy accent. I'm not an AI, I'm just a Frenchman who's just trying to speak English well. Talking about France, this is where I was born, and this is also where I started my career as an auditor at EY. So yes, I'm a CPA, and like most of you here, I started at the Big Four. I mean, basically a Big Five, as we used to call them. But you did far better than I because you stayed in the field and you've been able to build a deep expertise, um, which I've lost a little bit with time. Uh, on my side, after a few years of audit, basically I've been disturbed. Uh, but this was not really my fault because basically I just fell in love, and this is not something you can control. So I fell in love with technology. So still at EY, I built their intelligent automation practice. So I used to build a combination of technologies such as artificial intelligence and automation to automate business processes end to end and improve business efficiencies for my corporate clients. So this team of intelligent automation at EY became one of the largest team in the world, 1,000 people globally, and I'm proud to say that we were the first one to work on the topic, a topic that today is so important. So it worked so well that McKinsey pulled me in to do the same thing for them to build their division on intelligent automation. And through those 2 decades of experience implementing those technologies for corporate clients, I became passionate about the topic. And I wanted to share my experience, not only with my corporate clients, but also with the broader business community. And this is why I wrote the first book on the topic, which is called Intelligent Automation, which you can see the cover behind me. And thanks to this book, the experience I had accumulated over the years was made available to everyone. So helping more companies to succeed in their digital transformations, helping making our world progress and improve. So you've guessed it well. Over the coming 40 minutes, we will talk about intelligent automation, and you'll discover how to make your audit processes better, faster, safer, and cheaper. We will also discuss how these technologies are implemented in companies today so that you can understand better how to audit them, how to assess them, how to test them. We will talk also about generative AI, which is taking a lot of space in the current noise, and about its positioning in the spectrum of intelligent automation. We will also touch upon the critical success factors for such transformations. So intelligent automation, or IA, as we like to call it, is not just another fancy buzzword. Gartner, the famous research company, has ranked IA as the #1 tech trend for 3 straight years. So over the last 3 years, it's been one of the top 10 of those tech trends. So that means you are in the right place at the right time, and we are discussing about the right topic. So without further ado, let's take a leap into the future, and let me bring my slides in. First, let me introduce you to Anna. Today, I won't be the only person presenting. She will assist me today to make this presentation more interactive. So, Anna, how are you? Can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Hello, Pascal. Thanks for inviting me. Hello, everyone. My name is Anna. You might not believe me, but I am not a real person. I have been built using machine learning. Pascal programmed me to help him share his insights with you, and at the same time demonstrate the cutting-edge capabilities offered by technology today. I am very excited to be with you today.
Thank you, Anna. We are very excited to have you with us today. While Anna is a cutting-edge technology, not everyone is so advanced yet. As I traveled the world as an intelligent automation expert, I took a few pictures demonstrating how we are still wasting time, money, and resources. And we need to leverage more intelligent automation to solve all this. So I'm going to show you some pictures that ask you, do we still want to see this anymore? So if you don't want to see that anymore, you can just reply no more. So take this as a warming, energizing exercise in your day to get a little bit more energy. So do we still want to see this anymore? So no more.
No
I
more.
think we all agree on that. Hundreds of people lining up to buy a train ticket or to board a plane. 50 people lining up to meet with a physician. Can you imagine the millions of hours wasted each day? There is definitely a need to digitalize those experiences. As customers, as patients, we want everything better, faster, cheaper, don't we? And this is exactly what intelligent automation makes possible. On average, intelligent automation enables a 50% increase in customer satisfaction. And even when those processes are digitalized, they are often a headache. So every day we spend hours filling up forms on the web, uploading documents, remembering and entering passwords. I mean, raise your hand if you keep forgetting your passwords and struggle to figure them out. We are all in the same case. And all this can be automated using intelligent automation. Do we still want to see an office like this anymore? No more. We all agree. As workers, we don't want this experience anymore. Can you imagine working in such an environment? It's not surprising that, according to a recent survey, 85% of the workers are not happy at work. IA can significantly enhance employee experience by automating the repetitive, boring tasks, leaving for us, humans, the most value-added and exciting activities. With that, we can have more time for strategy, we can have more time for relationship, we can have more time for creativity. All those skills that are specific to us, unique to us, humans. Do we still want to see this anymore? No more. I think we all agree. This is how my schedule gets messy as I'm not coached to follow best practices in time management. There is an urgent need to leverage intelligent automation to digitalize documents, automate tasks. I mean, for you leaders in the room and managers in the room, this is a critical leadership issue because according to a recent research, companies that take care about their employees' experience are 4 times more profitable than those that don't. On top of that, intelligent automation improves business efficiency by 20 to 60%. And very importantly, this is available across industries and across functions.
Pascal, can you stop here? Enough of horrible pictures for today.
Of course, Anna.
Now that we understand what intelligent automation needs to change, can you tell us what IA is and how it can help solve these issues?
Of course, Anna. To define IA, let's start with what it is not. It's not about those physical robots that we've seen in the manufacturing industry over the last 2 centuries. IA is a new type of automation. Very recent, it's been coined in 2017. It's about the automation of any tasks that we can perform on computers. So any task that we perform on a computer can be automated with intelligent automation. Think of sending emails, reconciling files, identifying patterns, predicting the level of activity or the level of risk of a business. Intelligent automation has become one of the most important trends of the decade for one very good reason. More than 80% of the people in the world are working on computers. So this means that more than 80% of the people can grab the benefits from using intelligent automation. They can create more value. They can have a more exciting work experience.
Pascal, thank you. That's very clear. Now that we know what is intelligent automation, let's look at some of its recent advancements. To kick things off, I have a question for the audience. What do you think is similar among the examples I'm about to show you?
Let's have a look, Anna.
For the first time ever, a technological creation has taken top honors, Theater d'Opera Spatial won first place in the digital category at the prestigious Colorado State Fair. Experience a symphony of sight and sound with Refik Anadol's mesmerizing live music sculpture. Unlocking the future of medicine, predicting 3D models of protein structures now helps us identify drug candidates with unprecedented precision. Revolutionize your workflow by generating PowerPoint presentations automatically. Elevate medical accuracy with cutting-edge precision in imaging, leading to more reliable diagnoses. Transforming text into 3D blueprints, we are now designing buildings, streets, and environments tailored to our lives.
That's impressive.
Witness the power of imaging technology with the longest, high-quality zoomed-out picture you have ever seen. So, did you guess the similarity behind these examples? The answer is that they all use generative artificial intelligence, or Gen AI as it's now called. It's amazing how one technology can have such a wide range of uses. Pascal, can you tell us more about why generative AI is capturing the world's attention?
Of course, Anna. Everything for you. So Gen AI is definitely a game changer. And it's a game changer that all of us need to pay attention to. For three key reasons, I think. And the first one is Gen AI taps into decades of human knowledge that are stored digitally in the web. So instead of, remember when we were looking for knowledge, Googling anything and having as a result links and having us to look through those links to finally identify the insight we're looking for, we are now able to get all these insights just in plain language via those large language model and generative AI. The second point is that it is the first time that human language serves as a universal bridge, not only between humans and machine, but also between machines themselves. I mean, if you have a machine written in Python and another one in JSON, both of them can talk to each other through human language. The third point that I want to mention why Gen AI is really a revolution is that it creates the ability for anyone without even having skills in coding or programming to build their own applications. So this means that it's available now to everyone to improve their work, to create new applications that make our life easier, our work easier, and more efficient. Let's have a look at what are the trends. So according to Bloomberg, Gen AI's market will grow 100 times in the next 10 years. So that's huge. So expect more tech revolutions to come because according to my expert view on this technology, it really acts as a foundation to create more innovations in the future. Expect more innovations in the next 10 years than in the last century. So we should be ready for that. According to a recent research by UCLA, companies with workforces most exposed to generative AI are outperforming the market. So every organization should consider take advantage of Gen AI. Now, I want to show you how we can use generative AI in our daily work. Let's see how we can leverage those large language models coupled with generative AI to help us, for example, analyze an annual report. So I'm taking here Tesla's 10K for the year 2020. So as you can see, it's in the form of a PDF. It is more than 400 pages, 449 pages. As you can see, that's a typical 10K with a lot of text, a lot of graphs and balance sheets and other financial documents. I'm now giving this document to a large language model, in this case, ChatGPT. After a few seconds, as you can see, the large language model has digested the whole report and is giving me here the key information that are included in this report. So telling me what is this document, but also giving me the key information that are included within this report. So basically what we see now is the proof that this technology can help us go really faster in ingesting, understanding information. So instead of spending hours looking through those 449 pages, in just a few seconds, ChatGPT has been able to give me the key essence of the key information included in this report. Now let's push this a little bit further. I'm asking ChatGPT, based on this annual report, what could be key decisions that Tesla's CFO could take in the coming year? So, of course, this is only based on this annual report. And ChatGPT right away is giving me a few ideas of what are the key decisions this chief financial officer should take. For example, capital allocation. It's explaining me here that the cash has been burned very quickly last year and that there is a need to increase the capital because the next year might be very hungry in cash. Let's push this a little bit further again. Now I'm asking this large language model to perform a scenario analysis based on two variables, the variation of the market growth rate and the interest rate. Again, here we are only based on the annual report of Tesla for the year 2020. Automatically, the large language model is giving me some assumptions and identifies 5 scenarios that are worth being calculated. For each of those scenarios, it's given me the impact on the revenue, the impact on the interest expense, and the new net income. And at the end, just to help me have an overview of those scenarios, giving me a matrix that recaps the key information of this scenario analysis. So what we've seen here is that not only those large language models help us to ingest data very quickly, massive data, give us the key insights from this data. It also helps us to analyze this data, giving us a great support for decision. It helps us also to predict, to identify what can we do with this data and what, if we change a few variables, what would be the outcome of it. Let's have a look at something else now. Another question that I'm asking it is, what could be a typical risk register for accounts receivable at Tesla? So based on the information in the annual report, it's giving me a list of about 10 key risks that I need to control, I need to assess. For each of those risks, what is the likelihood? What is the potential impact? And the risk rating. So not only has been able, so what we've seen now, large language model has been able to ingest large amount of data, help us build scenarios, but also now help us identify key risks based on this annual report. But imagine if you give it the 10, I mean, all the annual reports from the beginning of the company, and you give it strategical information around what you plan to do, what you've done recently. You can really have a new seat at your board of directors with this computer helping us make the right decisions, or at least double check the decisions that we want to make. Asking it, for example, we are about to make this decision. What do you think? It might reply, in the last 2-3 years, we already made this decision in this region of the world, and this is what happened. Maybe you should do it this way. Okay, so a very important point here, two very important points. The first one is, as we can see, those large language models are very useful as a starting point in the work that we do, giving us some grounding information that helps us to go faster and to make sure that we are exhaustive in the way we approach problems. The second key thing here is, for this demonstration, I've used Tesla's 10K, which is publicly available. And I've sent this information that is publicly available to a publicly stored large language model, which is ChatGPT. Of course, be very careful not to share sensitive, confidential information with those systems, because they are currently open to the web, and anyone at OpenAI, for example, so the software producer for this software, could see the data that you share, and the confidentiality wouldn't be there anymore. Let's have another game with ChatGPT. I'm asking it now, if you were the auditor of Tesla, what would be the key risk that you would focus on and why? Here are the key risks that it has identified based on the report. Again, here, that's a very good starting point to help you make sure you start well and make sure that you haven't forgotten anything. I'm asking it now, pushing it a little bit further. What could be an audit program for auditing customer credit risk for Tesla, which was basically one of the key areas of risk that it identified before? So we are getting now to understanding how those large language models can not only help us make the right decisions, digest large amount of data, still simulate, but also organize our work. And that's very useful. I mean, if you give it to your team, another question that I'm asking it now is, prepare a daily program for the team of auditors to work there. So as you can see, day by day, hour by hour, the team knows what to do. So again, that's a good starting point. Another question, how big should be the audit team, and which level of seniority should we expect in this team? But it gives me the list of what we could expect. So for Tesla specific assessment of risk for this specific process, 9 to 11 members are required. I also asked it, if you were Sarah, the audit manager of the team, what would be a daily and hourly schedule for the next 5 days? Again, here we really see that this is a huge starting point, a huge help. BCG has recently released a research that shows the impact of ChatGPT in our daily work. According to the outcome of this research, it helps us to improve the quality of the outcome of our work by 40%, while improving the speed of our work by more than 25%. So that's a huge help. Now you can take your phones and take a picture of this slide. So this is a summary of the GenAI use cases that I identified based on the recent work that I did for companies. Those are basically the ones that were the most beneficial, that created the highest impact in those companies. So financial modeling, risk management, financial reporting, budget planning, and so on. Another interesting one is the generative AI use case for the audit function. As you can see here, it's about risk assessment, helping to create samples, helping in testing, creating testing scenarios, and so on. Of course, all this comes with limitations. There is no power that comes without limitations. So let's have a look at what are the limitations that we need to be aware of in order to manage well the pros and the cons of those technologies. So first of all, I like to say that the first limitation is the difference between this intelligence and our organic brain, our human intelligence. So although systems like ChatGPT sound like they are talking in a human way, it's important to remember that all this is just a trick. It's just an illusion, basically. Those AIs don't actually understand what they are saying. They are just programmed to simply predict what is the next word or the next image pixel based on mathematical calculations. So don't get fooled by them. Huh? It's very important to keep this in mind. Another key distinction between their intelligence and our intelligence is that while they seem to be very creative, I mean, they can write poems, they can write stories, basically they are not creative. They are just mixing and matching content that they've gathered from the web. So basically they are just combining existing content together to create something new, which is not true creativity. True creativity is something that only us humans can achieve. It involves our emotions, our own stories, our character, our personalities. It is something that only us humans can achieve. Let's move to the second limitation of generative AI. As you can see, I've asked generative AI to produce color photographs of a lawyer. This is the outcome. Asking it color photograph of a fast food worker. This is what comes out. A lot of color people. A color photograph of a judge. This is mainly male, senior people. A color photograph of a housekeeper. A doctor. A janitor. So as you can see, those systems are extremely biased. They are biased for one very good reason, is that we have trained and built those systems using the data that is available to us, and the data that is available to us has been generated by us humans. And because we are biased, those systems are biased. And because they are more powerful than us at a lot of tasks, their character of being biased is amplified. So what can we do with that? How can we avoid those biases to be amplified by those systems? Here is the list of the 188 cognitive biases known to date. So basically, we all have those 188 biases in our brain. So the first thing to do is, first of all, know them. So you can have a look on the web. You can search for cognitive bias codex, and you will have this figure that explains to you what are all those biases that we have. And we need first to be aware of them. We need to read all of them. And secondly, when we generate data, when we train those systems, be aware that those biases can come into the picture. So whenever we work on sensitive data that mentions gender, color of the skin, origins, and so on, we need to be very careful about those fields and double check them and make sure that they don't show biases. Next limitation I want to share with you. This is how ChatGPT can do homework for kids now. So kids are finding ways to cheat in school using these tools. So this is something we can't prevent. And just like we couldn't stop the use of calculators back in the 80s, as you can see here, math teachers were protesting against calculator use. Forbidding technology can only do more harm than good. That's my view. Instead of banning ChatGPT at school, we should change the way we educate. Use ChatGPT to help students to boost their critical thinking skills, question the outcome of the system, criticize them, double check them, be used to work with those systems and to identify the weaknesses out of the output of those systems. So let's focus on teaching skills like critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, basically all the areas where artificial intelligence can't outperform humans. And let's assess students differently, perhaps through case studies, real-world exercises. Generative AI is also changing the job landscape. I think most of us here know about this. Initially, it was estimated that automation would affect 20% plus of the work hours by 2030. But with generative AI, that number has jumped to nearly 30%. This is according to McKinsey. But here is the good news. While last year in 2022, AI led to the loss of 1.8 million jobs, it also created 2.3 million new jobs. So what we've seen over the last centuries is that AI and technology in general creates more jobs than it removes. We are always scared by it when it's introduced, but this is normal. This is a change. So we as humans don't like changes. But whenever those changes are gone by, we witness that we have even more opportunity than threats. The last and very important limitation that I want to discuss with you today is the limited capabilities of generative AI. So I like to take this picture of generative AI being like a brain in a jar. It's capable of generating great ideas, but it is unable to execute them, unable to view and understand its environment. So when it comes to business impact, generative AI by itself is quite limited. So if we take the whole spectrum of intelligent automation, generative AI represents only 30% of the potential business impact, while the other intelligent automation technologies account for 70% of the total business impact. So the key point here is that it is by combining generative AI with other technologies that we can create synergies to generate the highest impact in companies.
All right, so if I have got this right, generative AI is useful, but it's not going to make a big difference in companies unless it's paired with other technologies. That is where intelligent automation as a whole brings higher value by complementing Gen AI with other intelligent automation capabilities. I have heard that over half of the companies globally are already using intelligent automation. Can you tell us how they are applying it? Would you have a framework to guide a successful implementation of intelligent automation, including generative AI?
Of course, Anna. Here is a very powerful framework to answer your question. So this framework has been used by some of the best organizations in the world. Intelligent automation is achieved by mimicking the 4 capabilities that we use when we work on a computer. So when we work on a computer, we use our vision with our eyes to see the screen in front of us. We execute actions on the screen using our mouse, our keyboard. Third, we understand information that is either written on the screen or that we verbally talk about. So this is language. And finally, thanks to our computers, we create insights, we learn from them, we think with them. This is the 4th capability, which is called thinking and learning. Before going more into detail in those 4 capabilities, note that, as you can see in this framework, people are in the center. They are a critical component to ensuring the success of intelligent automation. I've never seen a company succeeding in those transformations without putting people in the center. I like to say that IA is built by the people for the people. So training, change management, education are vital. Now, each of those 4 capabilities leverage a portfolio of technologies that we can use to generate impact in companies. Anna, let's start with vision.
The first capability of the framework is vision. Vision is the equivalent of IA's eyes, supported by a technology called computer vision. It allows computers to analyze images, recognize letters and objects, and view the environment. Pascal, can you provide a few examples of how technologies support this capability?
Yes, Anna. For example, it is so painful to remember codes and passwords. This is why face recognition is used to help withdraw money at ATMs in China. This app called iScanner uses computer vision to count objects from a mobile phone camera just by pointing it at them in just a few seconds. So that's a life changer for professionals in retail, inventory management, merchandising, and more. Getting rid of our keyboard, screens, and other hardware. So this is a little bit more in the future, but this will enable us leveraging computer vision to work from anywhere at any time, away from the limitations of the physical world. So this is the future of dashboards. This is a little bit in the future as well with augmented reality, how impressive it is to interact with a 3D dashboard larger than your desk, leveraging eye tracking and hand control.
The second capability is execution. Execution is the hands and legs of IA. It allows computing programs to accomplish actions in digital environments, such as typing, clicking, opening applications, and sending emails. Basically, anything that we can do on a computer using our mouse or our keyboard. The key technologies supporting this capability are robotic process automation. I am sure a lot of you heard about RPA, smart workflows, and APIs. Pascal, please provide examples.
Of course, Anna. For example, this robotic process automation program identifies which clients are used to paying their bills late, and it automatically writes and sends a reminder to those clients automatically without any human intervention. Now, let's see a comparison between how we accomplish tasks as human and how intelligent automation does it. Here is a contest. At the top is a person, at the bottom is a robotic process automation program, and both of them are doing exactly the same task, which is about entering data into a platform, creating a report from it, and sending this report by mail. So let's see who will win this contest. It seems the robot already finished after 16 seconds. Let's have a look at the outcome of this. So the human took 15 minutes and did 2 typo errors, while the robot did it in 16 seconds and didn't do any errors. So what are the key lessons we can learn from this? Those programs are better and faster than us at performing those repetitive rule-based activities. And we are happy with that. We like it because it helps us to free up our time to focus on more collaborative, creative, value-added, and exciting tasks.
Our next capability to dive in is language. Language is like the mouth and ears of IA. It is supported by a technology called natural language processing. It gives machines the ability to speak, write, and interact with humans. Pascal, what can be an illustration of this capability?
Well, Anna, you are one of the perfect examples of a virtual agent that is leveraging natural language processing. So I built Anna combining a large language model similar to ChatGPT with an avatar made by the British startup company in Synthesia. So Anna supports clients 24/7. She's a trainer. She supports patients. She can help with mental health issues. She can help elderly and so on. Another example of how to leverage natural language processing is this tool that helps to build financial commentaries on behalf of analysts just by reading the graphs. So this tool leverages machine learning and helps analysts to build consistent commentaries 5 times faster. So you can ask it to build commentaries in the form of bullet points or paragraphs. And as you can see, you can just select part of the data and it will generate automatically the commentaries based on this data. So a game changer to building annual reports or any financial report.
The last capability of the IA framework is thinking and learning. This capability is similar to our brain, supported by machine learning. It allows computers to analyze data, create insights, predict, make decisions, and learn. Pascal, what can be an illustration of this capability?
And for example, Forecasts built using machine learning help to reduce by 80% the employee workload, while significantly improving the accuracy of those forecasts.
This is very clear. IA leverages four capabilities, and each of them is supported by different technologies. Can you give us an example of how we can combine these capabilities together?
Yes, Anna. Now for you to understand the power of IA, let's take a full use case. This picture shows the traditional way to onboard a new customer. So basically, the customer needs to go to a physical office and spend 1 to 2 hours answering questions, providing documents, and signing here and there. Alternatively, this client can go online, but the headache is the same. The customer needs to provide the same information many times, upload documents, scroll endlessly. Now, with the support of intelligent automation, here is the new user experience. So you're seated on your sofa, you're using your phone, and you can go through the onboarding process in just a few minutes. Now you might wonder, how is that possible? Okay, let's have a look at how it works in the background. You don't need to read this slide in the detail, just pay attention to what I say. A typical customer onboarding process involves 8 steps. Traditionally, those steps used to be very manual, such as reconciling files on Excel, manually uploading documents, sending emails. And as a result, the process used to take weeks to be performed. Now, with the help of intelligent automation, the process is fully automated end-to-end. As a result, the new process provides a higher customer experience and a higher employee experience, and it reduces the cost by more than 50%. How did we get to such an impressive outcome? As you can see, we have exactly the same 8 steps of the process. And each of those steps have been automated using a different intelligent automation technology, such as intelligent workflows, RPA, computer vision, natural language processing, basically all those technologies that we've seen previously in the framework. And the color coding that you see refers to the capability that we've just seen again in the framework. So key lesson here is that by combining those different intelligent automation capabilities, we can create synergies that are necessary to automate the most complex end-to-end processes. So instead of working on isolated tasks, automating end-to-end processes is the most optimal way to increase business impact. Even though over half of global organizations have embarked into their intelligent automation transformation, less than 15% of them have been able to manage it at scale. So the holy grail for any company in the world now is to create a higher impact by implementing those technologies at scale. In the book I wrote a year ago, I did a research to identify what are the critical success factors that companies that are able to scale have implemented. I identified 5 critical success factors. The first one is they use a people-centric approach. I mean, we've seen it already. Successful companies prioritize people in their IA transformation. It is built by the people, for the people. Training, change management, education are critical. The second critical success factor is about the involvement of management. Very often we talk about management being a sponsor of transformations. Here we need more than that. We need the involvement, the actual involvement of management. We are talking here about transformations that have deep impact on the organizations, on the processes, on the systems as well. So we need management to be strongly involved in making this transformation happen. The third point is about integrating capabilities. And we've talked about it. It's about merging those different technologies together that we can create synergies that help us to automate the most complex end-to-end processes. Number 4 is about democratizing those transformations. What we've seen over the last few decades is that only a handful of people in the companies are able to code and to implement those technologies. We need to embrace new technologies, especially low-code, no-code platform that empower everyone even without coding or programming experience, to address and automate their specific challenges in their work.
Low-code user interfaces provide the opportunity for everyone to automate their work with limited coding skills, leveraging user-friendly screens and drag-and-drop functionalities, increasing the speed of a transformation by 20 to 50%. While this example demonstrated a low-code application, let us move this concept further with a no-code example. This no-code interface created by MIT enables this physician to create data insight. Each black box is a data feature. Just by combining two boxes, this physician can understand, for example, the correlation between the age of a patient and the likelihood of having a blood disease.
Number five, fifth critical success factor to scale this transformation comes from an irony. Modern digital transformations remain surprisingly manual and human intensive. So we are implementing technology with people. And this is a blocking point. By utilizing technologies like process mining, process discovery, auto machine learning, and others, we are able to have technology to help us improve the speed and the scope and the scale of those transformations.
The insights we have shared today are sourced from the best-selling first reference book on intelligent automation. All profits from the book are channeled into charities focused on educating the underserved in new technologies. It's been an absolute pleasure engaging with you through this presentation. I look forward to our paths crossing again soon.
Thank you, Anna. It's been a pleasure to have you with us as well. I mean, we could talk for hours about intelligent automation, but I would also love to get your comments and interact with you on those exciting topics. As you've seen throughout this presentation, with the support of intelligent automation, any business process can now be done faster, cheaper, and better. Now, let me give you some homework as a follow-up activity. In your daily work, think about how you could leverage intelligent automation to deliver value at scale. It was a pleasure to share my passion with you through this presentation. And if you want to know more and receive regular updates, you can follow me on LinkedIn, on Twitter. In closing this presentation, I invite you to share my vision for a brighter future. I'm thinking of a future where work is fulfilling, free from mindless repetitions. Through the power of intelligent automation, we can all accomplish more in less time with higher quality. This liberation of time allows us to fully engage with our truly human strengths. I'm thinking of creativity, our capacity to relate with others, and our critical thinking. And even more precious, we gain moments to cherish with our loved ones, explore passions, protect our planet. So now you see, technology has the power not just to advance us, but to make us more human. So let us come together to realize this dream where technology makes our world more human, not less. Thank you.